Welcome to Weekly Digest, where we highlight the work of ministers of government as they push the administration's development agenda. Over 80 young persons from Region 5 graduated from various programs offered by the Board of Industrial Training. The graduation ceremony, which was held on Friday last, saw Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton continuing his encouragement of Guyanese to upskill themselves.
This graduation is not for me, Commander, and the head table. This graduation is yours. Importantly, that you can say to yourself, I started something and I finished it. That's very important. In a world that is filled with all kinds of issues, you must compliment yourself that you started and you finished.
Several farm-to-market roads in Region 5 will be upgraded to improve access to lands. These upgrades will in turn boost the agriculture productivity of the region. Regional Chairman Vichan Ramphel said it is part of the planned works by the Regional Democratic Council for the year. At present, works are being done on the access road along Esau and Jacob as well as Myconi Creek. Similar interventions will also occur at the Mahika-Myconia-Bari Agricultural Development Authority scheme. Stressing the urgent need to address water woes in Guyana, Vice President Dr. Bar Jagdeo on Tuesday said a portion of the oil funds will go towards strengthening Guyana's water system. The Vice President made the statement during a national consultation on strategic flood protection measures at the Artichoke Conference Center.
There is a strong need to do so urgently. The cost of doing so is enormous to fix our sea defenses, to keep the sea out, and these water management systems requires heavy investment. Part of the oil resources have to be spent in this manner.
The forum allowed regional officials and farmers across regions 2, 3, 5, and 6 to propose and discuss measures that could be considered to properly manage the water system within their respective regions. Dr. Jagdeo said if the situation has been a challenge in the past, going forward, it will get worse, especially since the country is rapidly evolving.
We have to fend for ourselves whilst we remain engaged with a global process. We in Guyana, we're not sitting on our hands. We'd have to ensure that some of our resources are utilized in this manner.
Prime Minister Brigadier Retired Mark Phillips says government is committed to acquiring equipment to effectively respond to an oil spill. This comes on the heels of a successful oil spill response simulation exercise by the Civil Defense Commission and other stakeholders.
From government side, I want to commit ourselves to working with you and to acquire the equipment that will be needed for the actual disaster.
The Prime Minister noted that government will ensure that the right personal protective equipment is available to those responsible for responding to oil spills.
What we don't need is we're facing a disaster and we don't have the right equipment. We don't have the right PPEs. And therefore people are donning or putting on the PPEs for the first time at the time of the disaster. So we have to focus now on getting the right PPEs that Mr. Thomas mentioned and have people wear them and experience the comfort and the discomfort that comes with wearing them and utilizing the equipment. So when the time comes for us to deal with an actual disaster, we have a core of personnel who are not only trained and not only know what they have to do, but they can operate the equipment.
Minister of Labour Joseph Hamilton says during this year's Occupational Safety and Health OSH Awareness Month, which began on Friday, more attention will be placed on the agriculture sector. The minister believes this sector has been silently facing poor OSH practices. He says, along with planned activities, the focus will be on educating persons and companies about the importance of OSH.
We have some special focus. Last year we focused on mining and construction. We would expand that this year to look at forestry and the agriculture sector. Because if I take the agriculture sector, I believe that we might be having more deaths in the agriculture sector silently than the ones that we are accustomed to. And therefore, as I have said, we have put together a joint technical committee that is OSH, Labour with the NARI and GRDB and RP, and that we will continue to do it that way.
Meanwhile, additional training will be provided for officers in various fields, enhancing their capacity to deal with a wider range of work-related incidents.
Specialized training beyond the holistic training that they're doing will have to be given to them. Will be engaging Forestry Commission and, as I've said, the agricultural sector to see how they can help us to develop the skill sets of those officers who will have to function in those specialized areas.
The Ministry of Human Services and Social Security took We Lift 2 to Region 2. At the event held at the Anna Regina Town Council, Minister Dr. Vindhya Prasad said women are exemplary leaders.
The female future is there if we can allow it to happen. And leadership should not be seen as a domain of men. Look at the powerful women within your own region who are showing you definitively that they can be decisive and exemplary leaders.
Meanwhile, some 450 women from Pomeroon Supernam Region 2 graduated Wednesday from the Ministry of Human Services and Social Security's Women Innovation and Investment Network WIN program.
I've always felt that women are perhaps our most valuable resources, not only in the world, but in our country, Guyana. And no effort has been spared when it comes to offering women opportunities of development, self-development, education, technical vocational training, and yes, giving them the opportunity to be empowered and financially independent.
Women from the region responded overwhelmingly to the program with an application rate of 93% and an overall pass rate of 96%. This was the highest pass rate compared to any region in the country. Upon graduating, women are directed into entrepreneurship and are provided with support services. The Demerara Harbour Bridge automatic tolling system was launched April 1. Already, a number of government vehicles have used the system, which General Manager of the Bridge Corporation, Wayne Watson, noted had been successful. The system uses a radio frequency identification strip, which will be picked up by scanners which are installed above the toll booth. Watson says despite the bridge being over 40 years old, the idea behind implementing the system is in preparation for future developments, making reference to the new Demerara Harbour Bridge. We now join Isaiah Braffett for the opening of a magistrate's court in Kokwani.
Access to justice is an inalienable right to the people of Guyana, says Attorney General and Minister of Legal Affairs Mohabir Anil Nandalal as he commissioned a $37.8 million magistrate court and living quarters in Kokwani, Region 10.
The Attorney General said the judiciary is the fundamental pillar on which a modern democratic society stands.
It is the justice system and the rule of law that protects life itself, that protects our ability to speak, to move, to celebrate, and to do so many things that we take for granted.
The Attorney General said the setup of courts has drastically changed, as today people have access to the most modern facilities in the most rural areas.
When in government we speak about the economic commercial and infrastructural transformation that is taking place in our country across its every landscape. The same thing is happening in the judiciary as well.
Government, he said, is committed to resourcing the judiciary as far as possible.
As soon as they ask for a plot of land, I immediately get my particular clearance and I go to the requisite department and I make my request and it's delivered. We do so not because we want any particular favor from the judiciary. We do so because we are committed to ensure that we do everything possible so that they can deliver to you the quality of justice and service that you deserve, the people of our country.
Acting Chancellor of the Judiciary, Justice Yonette Cummins Edwards, says Guyana has another facility to ensure there's access to justice.
Although I'm told that there are no street names except for Old Market Street in this community, and there are no lot numbers, everyone knows each other in the community, and for the most part, they all get along very well. Nevertheless, time and again, there has been infractions of the law. There is a need to uphold the rule of law in any community, and therefore a court is needed.
Her Worship, Wanda Fortune, will be the resident magistrate for the court, which will operate twice monthly. Present at the opening ceremony were Chief Magistrate Anne McLennan, Chief Justice Acting Roxanne George Wiltshire, and Director of Public Prosecutions Shalimar Alihak. Reporting from Kokwani, Region 10, with videographer Dexter Series, I am Isaiah Braffett.
79 hemodialysis patients have received checks worth $600,000 to help subsidize their treatment cost. The first payout exercise was held at the Artichon Conference Center on Friday. Government has set aside $180 million in Budget 2022 to support 300 patients in need of dialysis. Health Minister Dr. Frank Anthony said the approach by government is not a one-off payment, but will be done annually.
It became a new measure in the new budget. That is why each one of you would be getting a grant of $600,000. And this is not a one-off payment. This means that every year you will be getting 600,000 Guyana dollars to assist you with paying for your dialysis session.
He said Guyana has seen a successful journey in providing dialysis care, and while government moves to advance the infrastructure, Dr. Anthony said patient care standards must be maintained.
So one of the collaboration that we have had with the Pan American Health Organization is that we have been able to bring in some consultants. We had a first consultant a couple months ago who came in from Argentina and who is a nephrologist and has been running one of the largest centers in Argentina, came and she did a preliminary assessment of all our facilities here and has recommended certain standards. And the reason why we are doing that, because we want to make sure that when patients go to any one of these dialysis centers, that you can go there with the confidence that they are meeting certain standards.
That's it for this edition of Weekly Digest. For these and other government-related information, do log on to our website, dpi.gov.gy, and our social media platforms as well. Goodbye.